Are we expecting some drama, you ask?
I asked that question.
I don't think so. That's not the answer.
Well,
Vincent Carroll Jackson is a name. Now, you're not ready for this because you're not a recruiting person.
I'm not a recruiting expert, that's for sure.
You know Vincent Carroll Jackson.
I've heard it rings a bell.
Rings a bell.
It rings a bell.
He is going to announce at 2 p.m., 30 minutes before Matt Rhule's press conference, 2 p.m. CT, CT, Central Time.
Central Time. That's right.
And Sean Callahan thinks he's going to pick Nebraska.
Okay.
Vincent Carroll Jackson, that's some, I guess, drama.
Okay.
He's a defensive lineman from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
All right. Matt Rhule is already tweeting this morning. He's up and at it, as you'd expect on signing day. Okay. He's already saying day 24, ... as of a half hour ago. Vince Ginta is up and at it this morning for Nebraska football.
So are you.
It's almost time. He says hashtag renew 23. They're getting ready to roll at Memorial Stadium.
Vincent Carroll Jackson announces 2 p.m.
2 p.m. We got that one.
The other drama, I guess, is Eric Fields, who visited, I think it was last weekend, Eric Fields from Ardmore, Oklahoma. He's gone quiet, but again, Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com likes Nebraska's chances with Eric Fields. Eric Fields, light recruited by the Power Five. In fact, Nebraska might be his the lone Power Five offer. But he had like a zillion tackles this year.
A zillion?
Yeah, 180.
180. Well, as of
we mentioned that his dad was a fighter, Eric Fields Sr.
Yes,
cruiserweight.
That's right. As of right now, again, before we get the actual letters signed by these athletes, Nebraska sits right around the low 40s in the overall class rankings, which, as we have discussed on this show, people need to put less emphasis on where they end up in the rankings. Now, is it important? Yes, it is. It is important.
We wouldn't be saying that if they're number 5.
It is important, but it's also the first class of Matt Rhule. We don't know what kind of gems he can uncover that maybe others have overlooked, or maybe he's thought, could be good fits in Nebraska that maybe that Division I teams or Power 5 schools didn't go after. So we will see. You can't judge a class today. You can judge it after the first year or two.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, because you want to have official judgment of something on the day that the main thing happens here. Yeah. But you can't do that when it comes to recruiting.
Not really. And then even today, it's hard to judge. Today's hard to judge because you're going to get Malachi Coleman.
Okay.
Lincoln East, top-rated player in the state. Could play receiver. Could play tight end. Could play rush end. He's probably going to sign with someone today and then keep it quiet. Keep it secret until the All-American Bowl in San Antonio on January 7th. Get what I'm saying?
Yes.
He could sign with somebody today.
Is that what you think he will do? He won't announce it today, though?
He wouldn't announce it. He won't announce it. I don't think he's going to announce anything today.
Interesting.
Cameron Lenhart is doing the same thing. Cameron Lenhart is an edge rusher from Staten Island, New York. He's going to presumably sign it with someone today. I like the Huskers here too. More importantly, Sean Callahan does. So those guys that would be pretty big in the class. Cameron Lenhart's a 4-star player, and again, Malachi Coleman is a 4-star player, best player in the state.
Yes,
you could get them today and not know it. Recruiting's lovely.
It sounds like you're having a fun time with it.
Recruiting's lovely. I mean, there's all these, it's fine. And then you got the transfer portal people that you wonder about. And they don't have to announce today. You know that, right?
That's right. You don't have to.
So Malik Hornsby's still in play, the quarterback from Arkansas. Sean thinks the ship has sailed on Ben Scott as far as Nebraska getting Ben Scott, the offensive lineman from Honolulu. UConn Cornelius AJ. Ajani.
AJ. You said UConn again. AJ Cornelius.
Yeah, Ajani Cornelius. Yes. Sean doesn't like Nebraska's chances.
Because, as we pointed out, he was down to Nebraska, Oregon, Tennessee, and Ohio State as of the other day. That was what was announced to be his top 4.
He will next today. He will next today.
Where is he leading?
At 5:30. Just somewhere other than Nebraska, it sounds like.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
But Elijah Judy, now Saturday, and likes the chances of getting Elijah Judy, who's an edge rusher, transfer from Texas A&M.
So what you're telling people,
going on?
Yeah, I mean, so the drama could actually go beyond today in terms of this.
Yeah,
this is obviously the start of the avalanche. Everything starts today, but it does not end today.
No, and you got guys that, like I said, guys holding on. I mean, signing today, but then not announcing it till January at one of the All-American Bowls. There's one on January 3rd. There's one on January 7th. So, yeah, that's just the nature of the beast.
It's kind of annoying, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that?
Yes.
Because, you want to have some facts. If you want to have everything known today.
You're not.
But you're not going to.
No.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you want some, like, finality that's really not there. There's some finality. I mean, some guys are choosing, and they're gonna make it. They're gonna make their choices today, and you'll know it. Benny Nagoy, the Lincoln High player,
currently committed to Iowa State, right?
Yeah,
currently.
And this is what Sean says. Well, Sean expects it to end up with him going to Iowa State. Benny Nagoy
didn't do enough to flip him.
Nebraska made a nice late push. But Sean wrote and told me he expects it to go to Iowa State. Sean's really plugged in too.
We'll talk to Sean next segment to get an update on everything that he's hearing this morning.
That's about it. I mean, that's a good rundown.
That's good. That was a good rundown.
Oh,
Thank you to you and Sean for covering that for us.
Sean. I just read it.
We'll talk to Sean in about 15 minutes to give an update on what's going on today, what he expects to happen. If he expects any drama beyond what he's written there that maybe he forgot about or has popped up this morning.
Forgotten drama.
Yeah, forgotten potential drama. Matt Rhule has tweeted once again. Okay. Yeah, you might see a record amount of tweets today. Now, Matt Rhule, since Friday or Saturday, has just been lighting it up on Twitter with all his emojis and hidden cryptic messages.
And there are people falling into this trap.
They're trying to trap.
You better watch.
What trap we talking? Watch my mouth. What I say? What
trying
trap?
to figure out what they are.
Oh, well, I haven't. I
that trap.
You kind of are just bound to do that, aren't you? There's a bunch of different things. You try to put them together.
Yeah. You try.
How is it a trap?
You try to put them. All right. Go ahead.
It says 3 letters.
Okay.
Oh, actually 2 letters and a number.
Okay.
F4L. Does that mean family for life?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. That's Matt Rhule doing weird things this morning.
Go ahead. Go to the previous one.
Okay. Matt Rhule tweets that one at F4L. And then about 40 minutes ago, he tweets out day 24, ... Okay. That's it.
Okay. What about the previous one?
He was tweeting something about at 6 hours ago. He was up and he's tweeting at Larry the Cable Guy about something.
Can't,
I mean, he says that's how I bow down to the goat of comedy, following long at home. To those following long, that was like Larry.
Okay.
I don't think that he slept last night. Is what I'm saying. Matt Rhule's pulling an all-nighter here.
Oh boy.
Well, I'll tell you what. While we are waiting for some commits to come in, into some letters of intent to be signed, or some drama to unfold, we will do a roll call with the listeners. How does that sound?
Yeah, please.
Let's do a renewyourauto.com roll call. 464-5685. Text us where you're listening from, your name, your age, if you want to. And I guess if you want to add more, what player are you most excited to see signed today for Nebraska? Who are you most curious about in the class so far? Renewyourauto.com roll call. 2 locations in Lincoln. Call them today for any of your detailing needs on your car. 464-5685. Nothing yet. No news yet in terms of letters of intent. Yeah. Usually about 6:15, you get your first one rolling in. Maybe it's going to be a slower day in the world of that, though.
Alabama number 1 2023 consensus recruiting rankings.
And that surprises about nobody, right?
Alabama, no surprise. 2, Georgia.
Speaking of Alabama, quickly, yesterday, but this might please Iowa, Nebraska fans, excuse me. Iowa lost the number 1 player in the country, the offensive lineman, Proctor. Caden Proctor flips from Iowa to Alabama yesterday. That's got to pain the Hawkeye fans. He's a 5-star. Obviously, if he's the top player, he's a 5-star. That's painful to lose the top player in the class.
Painful is it for you?
Well, for them. No, I'm not a Hawkeye fan. Don't put that on me.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm perfect. I'm actually great. Right? I'm better than great.
Okay.
I feel elite over here.
Okay. PJ.
About that news. Yeah. Me and PJ are rowing the boat right now.
Georgia's number 2. Miami's number 3. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, we know Mario Cristobal is a good recruiter, and it was not a great first year for him at Miami. But as we've said before, you can't define a coach's tenure on his first year. You got to give him some time. So that's why I say with Matt Rhule, if he doesn't make a bowl game, he's not done here. It's just a disappointment check. And it was a disappointing year for Mario Cristobal. But guess what? It can still be a very effectively good tenure for him at Miami.
Yes. Ohio State's number 4.
No surprise there.
Notre Dame is number 5.
They've been recruiting pretty well. Marcus Freeman getting it done there after post Brian Kelly.
The Texas Longhorns are 6.
It's pretty good for Sarkisian.
LSU is 7. Oklahoma's 8. Florida's 9. Notice, 1 Big Ten team, always Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just keep going to the 20.
I got some news for you, though.
Okay, go. Do we got it?
Do we finally.
Perfect time.
Did you hear that sound over there? You hear it firing up? Did you hear it?
That's
the fax.
I don't.
Machine. The machine is cooking. Oh, let's see if it's working.
Oh, there you go. There it
is. Your first official letter of intent signed today comes from Dwight Boodle II out of Miami, Florida. Of course, the brother of DiCaprio Boodle. Defensive back, 5'10", 170 pounds. Dwight Boodle II, your first signee of the day.
He's all in.
He's all in, baby. We can put a check mark by his name on the commits list.
He's understands the cold, and I remember his brother DiCaprio telling me that the biggest adjustment for him was when he got here is learning how to drive on snowy roads. He's never done that.
Yep.
And he said between and driving on snowy roads, he said he would drive around really slow. But
one-ways are confusing if you've never seen them before. We see this all the time at state basketball, state football, where the people coming from small towns are just lost. And they've probably been here before for state title games, but it's once or twice a year, and they just can't handle them.
Right. Yeah, they're going
they're used to one stop sign in town, and that's it.
It's always fun seeing a car going the wrong way.
Is it though?
Kind of.
Now, when you're at 56, and they turn right off of O Street into you coming from the east, that's not very fun.
No, that's not very fun.
Especially right at the light. That happened to me yesterday. That was fun. Just about got wrecked with me sitting at a stoplight again from the front side this time.
Dwight Boodle
II is the first signing of the day. By the way, in other news, before we get to any more signees, we're going all over the map right now. Franco Harris passed away this morning.
R.I.P.
72 years old, immaculate reception.
Yeah.
Former Steelers running back.
Yeah, great running back.
Yep.
Known for the immaculate reception, but he was a great running back. Big running back.
Is he one of your favorites of all time? You like big running backs.
He wasn't one of my all-time favorites, but I liked him. I admired him. Played with Bradshaw, of course, Terry. Played with on those Iron Curtain teams. Played with Rocky Blyer. Lynn Swan, that group. What's so funny?
I can tell you're in pain over there. Hey, you're fighting through. We appreciate you today. We hope that you told me this morning, can I say it on the air, that your medicine doesn't seem to be working anymore. Have you become immune to Mucinex, possibly?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing fine.
Some textures are enjoying your low voice this morning.
Well, Yeah.
There's a Family Guy episode where Peter Griffin has a low voice, and it turns his wife on, actually, because it's much lower than his normal voice. And she prefers that he stays that way.
Stays ill.
Yeah, just keep that low voice like that. Yeah, keep that voice down right there. Keep it like that.
Okay. Any other news?
Nothing.
Any other signings?
No signings yet so far.
Play some minute work.
I will do that when there's signings. I can't do it before that.
We got one.
It's a bad omen to do it before.
Yeah, it is.
I played it after it happened with Dwight Boodle II.
Yeah, you don't want.
So you have somebody's in, Dwight Boodle. The rest of the class, we'll see if they happen today or what time today they're going to happen.